No, I
Got
don't
it.
believe that. No, I don't believe that. But there's a lot of people who say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think it's fine. I think those could be fighting words for a lot of people because when people say that, I've heard that Star Wars doesn't belong and Pandora doesn't belong in the Walt Disney World Park. You're wrong. Then nothing belongs there.
From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two tempests in a teacup, Dave and Toni-Ann.
On this week's The Disney Crush Podcast, those are fighting words. We share our opinions that might upset other Disney fans. Episode 373 of the Disney Crush Podcast is starting right now. Them there's fighting words, Dave.
Yeah. Well, geez, I'm going to upset some people because, I'm supposed to be happy and changing my whole attitude.
You are usually a very happy person.
I am. I know. But I'm just saying I've been labeled as kind of a grumpy man lately. And this is going to probably bring out some grumpiness in me and upset some people again.
I don't know. So we're still in the holiday, what's the word I'm looking for? We're still kind of under the holiday days. Disney hasn't really released any new news this week. They did release discounts, including room-only discounts for annual pass holders and Florida residents, and free dining for people who are buying packages with park hopper tickets. And I think there were some general public room discounts as well. So if you're interested in any of that, reach out to your travel advisor or check the Walt Disney World website. But that's basically the only news that happened this week. Disney's been quiet the last 2 weeks because of the holidays. So,
well, it's not going to be quiet for long because when this podcast comes out,
marathon weekend starting.
Yeah, that weekend, marathon weekend starts, and there's going to be quite a few crushers in the park.
Yes.
So, you know how those crushers are. They get a little rowdy sometimes.
So you think we may see news stories related to them? Maybe Holly's going to go swimming in Crescent Lake or something.
Yeah, or someone's going to climb the pyramid in Mexico or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, tell my friends to... Speaking of Holly, that's exactly who just messaged me.
Wow.
Holly Fitch. Yeah.
Wow, maybe you should play the lottery.
That's really funny.
Wow.
That's really funny.
Believe that. What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Holly. You want to see what she has to say, or you want to call her up?
No.
Okay. Just saying.
She's making some plans to spectate the marathon, which I would love to do, but I don't know if it's realistic this year for me to go as a spectator because I had Michael with me last year, but we were in Epcot, and last year the World Showcase portion of the marathon was at the end, and so people usually finish the marathon after noonish. Like that's when because it takes a while to run a whole marathon. I don't know if you realize that. So It was convenient for me and Mike to see them around World Showcase. Well, this year they're starting. That's the first part of the marathon is running around World Showcase. So that'll be at 5 a.m. So, but the Main Street USA portion, a lot of our friends are going to try to be there for that, which is still very early in the morning. And you have to get on the running bus, the marathon bus early in the morning before the roads close so that you can get to Epcot, so you can get on the monorail, so you can get over to Magic Kingdom. And I just don't know if Michael's up at 3:00 in the morning. Yeah, I'll get him dressed and get out. But it's also supposed to be freezing cold. High 30s, low 40s. And, I don't know about doing that at 4:00 in the morning because that's really cold for Floridians. And I'm reminding everyone, Florida cold is different. It's different than up north cold. It's cold. It feels colder because of the humidity, because it's wet.
Yeah, it's a damp, humid, cold. And then if you're next to the water in a lot of these parks, just for some reason, all those three things, it's like the perfect storm. And it's unlike any other cold. Now, next Saturday is predicted to... Let me hang on a second. Let me just see here for a second.
Well, we're talking about Sunday morning is when the marathon viewing would be.
Yeah, next Sunday, the high is 57 and the low of 43. Saturday's the high of 54 and low of 35. So, yeah, it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
In Disney.
Yep. Wow.
And most of the time in Florida, you'll have cold mornings and mid mornings, and then it warms up and you're shedding clothes. But that's not going to be the case with a little bit of wind going.
It's not supposed to get above. Yeah.
In the 50s, it's going to be cold.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
So prepare yourself for that. No pajamas in the park. Don't wear your pajamas. Wear something else, or maybe wear pajamas over your pants or something. I don't know if you want to wear pajamas. Whatever.
So that's really it. I have some Facebook though.
Oh, you do? Mm.
Yeah, I do.
This week's the good, the bad, and the ugly of Facebook. Bing. That's a chili bing. Chili bing.
Those were kind of weak. I don't know. Anyway, this was posted the night of New Year's Eve. Okay, in the wee hours of New Year's Day morning. Okay, for someone who's at the Grand Floridian and can hear the shaking off the mirror at 11:54, I wonder who approved this fireworks display 2 nights in a row. My 2-year-old is trying to sleep. So they're complaining because the New Year's Eve fireworks were waking their 2-year-old up. They didn't. Who approved fireworks at midnight on New Year's Eve, Dave?
Who approved you to complain about it? You know it's New Year's.
It's just funny. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Magic Kingdom is packed with people watching the midnight fireworks, and don't stay at a monorail resort for New Year's if you're not planning to hear the booms of the fireworks. So there you go.
I know some people, I don't know. Don't get it.
This person is very upset about something. When we booked a month ago for January, the Hall of Presidents was supposed to be open. Now they're saying it will be closed. What should we do in this situation? Your whole trip is circling around the Hall of Presidents? Like,
yes.
I think you should cancel your trip. That's what I think you should do in this situation, because the Hall of Presidents is going to be closed.
Toni-Ann, be nice. Come on. No, people got to understand there could be a lot of things closed. You just don't know at any moment, at any chance. You could and have the best plans that you've ever made, and then go to Disney, and then bam, Guardians is down, or Flight of Passage, one of the top rides is down.
Hey, did Rise of the Resistance break down? Did I hear that?
Dominic finally rode Rise, the full experience, this September.
Oh my gosh.
The first time he got to see the whole thing, because every time that kid went to ride Rise, the cargo, the transport vehicle was broken, and they would take him right into the stormtrooper room. That was 5 years ago that ride opened. It took him 5 years to experience the ride as it was meant to be experienced.
Yeah. And if you're new to the podcast, that is a true story. That kid, every time he went, something was wrong with that ride.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his main goal, was to ride it finally. Mm-hmm. And every time something was wrong.
So you can't plan your trip around one attraction, but who plans their trip around Hall of Presidents?
Well, I guess that person does, whoever that person is.
Yes, and maybe they're very into history and things like that. Go ride Carousel of Progress instead.
You know what they could do is they could possibly go home, pull up YouTube, and pull up a video and sit down in front of the TV with some popcorn and enjoy it at home.
You could have a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Hey, and then they could watch it on repeat and repeat like you do. Just repeat it all day long.
Yes. Yeah. Like I do. Yes. I sit home and watch Hall of Presidents all day long. That's exactly what I do.
Oh, speaking of repeat, I watched Inside Out finally.
Oh, good.
Oh, actually, kind of watched it. I did kind of nod off a couple times, and then I still have like 20 minutes to go.
Okay, so this is the original Inside Out?
Yeah, the original. So my plan is to try to watch the new one.
Yeah, the new one's really good.
That's what I know. It's one of the top box office smashes.
Mm-hmm.
So I will attempt to watch the end of the first one, and then maybe try this weekend and watch the second one.
And I finally got to watch Wicked on New Year's Eve. It came out on home video this week.
Mhm.
It came out to be for streaming. So I finally got to watch it, and I loved it, Dave. I think you're crazy.
Oh no, I said it was good. I said it's going to win awards. It was good.
really
There was a lot of good spots, but I'm just not a musical kind of guy.
I guess
it was painful for me. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you were going to love it. I mean, I there was no doubt in my mind that you were just going to adore it. So that's good.
And Rich and Dominic had gone out on New Year's Eve, and when they came home, I was still watching it. And Rich sat down, and he liked what he saw. So I'll have to watch it again from the beginning with him. But
no, yeah, it's just not my cup of tea.
So yeah, Rich and Dominic went out on New Year's Eve, and I stayed home. But that's okay.
Heard about that. We did too. We were going to go, but we didn't want to drive, and we were away from that.
Yeah.
And we just didn't want to drive. So
I was glad that Rich got out and took Dominic with him. So
yeah,
anyway.
That was cool. I heard they had a good time. So that's good.
They did. All right, Dave. So this is a tale, a cautionary tale.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the main theme of the cautionary tale is keep your hands to yourself, people. This is kind of long, but please be kind about our situation. We are working through this to find the best solutions. We are at Disney for a quick 3-day trip, a group of 3 with 2 young adults and 1 senior. The senior has been coming to Disney since they were a little girl. So 1971 is when it opened. She couldn't have been a little girl if she's a senior. Maybe she was, I don't know. Well, whatever. I don't consider seniors anymore because I'm old.
I could be a senior.
I digress. Yeah, I guess. I digress. Yeah. You were a little girl in 1971 and you're almost a senior.
That's true.
The senior has been coming to Disney since she was a little girl, and needless to say, they are diehard for Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Amidst the crazy day, we landed a spot at Chef Mickey's at the Contemporary. The characters came around and said their hellos, and the senior-aged member of our group told Goofy, "I'm going to pinch your rear," and pinches the character's backside. We laughed. It was over, and Goofy went away. An experience manager came up and explained the inappropriateness of the situation. He warned of the consequences, stating he would have to call security, and he doesn't want to do that. Just please treat the characters with dignity and respect. The butt pincher apologized and said it wouldn't happen again and admitted to taking it too far. We stayed there and had dessert and left to go elsewhere. When we returned to our Disney resort, we went to get in our room and were locked out. We went to the lobby to check on it, and they wouldn't let us inside. With no clue what was happening, we thought it was a problem on the resort's end. We waited until allowed in, and more security guards began to show up. Long story short, the Chef Mickey's manager went against his word, and the butt pincher was issued a trespassing violation and is banned from Disney property. In agreement with the inappropriateness and in total understanding of the situation, we were all very shocked of the outcome. Not sure if this is something that we should fight or just take it and turn the other way. I think the manager was wrong for communicating a warning to us and then turning around and issuing a formal statement. A butt pinch is not appropriate, but needless to say, she has been coming to Disney for 50 years and has pinched many butts without violation of policy. No, she's not a creep, just a funny old lady. No, she's not a funny old lady. She's actually an assaulter. But
yeah,
Disney, the reason why the manager had to report her is because Disney has a no tolerance policy on that kind of thing. So a 0 tolerance policy on touching people inappropriately. So while I feel bad that the beginning of their trip, they got locked out of their room and trespassed, I get it. Don't touch people. Don't touch cast members' heinies.
No, there are fighting pinches.
Yeah. So, just keep your hands to yourself, people, and you won't get trespassed from Disney.
Right. And she's old enough to know better.
Yeah. It's
and you in life, you will suffer the consequences of your actions. Just remember that.
Mm-hmm. So I've seen videos of women that went too far with Gaston. Gaston.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, because they think it's funny and they're playing this thing with Gaston, and just no.
Yeah,
don't touch people.
Yeah,
inappropriately.
Keep your hands yourself. If you have to put them in your pocket or whatever you gotta do, just try to stop the urge of pinching somebody.
Yep, that's all I got, Dave.
That was good. That's always good. I always enjoy a little bit of Facebook. It never disappoints.
All right, Dave.
All right.
I want to get into our main topic. You messaged me, and this is what you said to me for our topic. You said, pick 5 things about Disney that is sure to start an argument with a Disney fan. So I started making a list. I kind of came up with more than 5, but like some of them are intermeshed with each other. So I stuck to around 5.
Yeah. Well, let's just see where it goes. I mean, I just threw down a few things, and some of them are stuff that we've talked about before, and and are kind of common sense, but
okay.
Me,
5. So 5 things that will start an argument with a Disney fan. All right. You want me to go first?
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. This gets me in trouble with a lot of my friends because for some reason they love it. I think Homecoming is meh.
Yeah.
I don't get the love that Homecoming gets. First of all, it's really heavy. Like every time I've gone there, I've left feeling like a lead weight was in my stomach. But every time I've gone there, there's been something amiss. The first time I went with my mom, I think, and it wasn't great. The fried chicken was dry. The second time I went with Nicolette, and we sat at the bar, and that was good. And I ordered a hamburger, and the cheese was burnt, and I was like, what are these hard things? Every time I bit into it, there was something hard. And it was the cheese. They had like burnt it on the grill. I don't know. And then I went with the boys, and the waiter upsold everything. He was trying to sell me the squeezable, refillable thing. He wanted to like, do you want to have your fries loaded? And when you ask a kid, do they want their fries loaded and not the parent? And the kid says, yes. And then it's an extra $6 on your bill for some cheese on your fries. That kind of like that server was all about the upsell, and that turned me off. And they might get, if you sell so many squeezable bottles, you might get a little, I don't know. But, it makes sense that if the bill is higher, the tip is higher. But that regardless, you don't ask the kid, do you want the upsell? I mean, but I think that's kind of shady tactics to ask the child if they want the upsell.
Yeah.
But,
exactly. And all the time, all the years that we've been going, we've seen some sneaky stuff from them a couple times, just like that. End up trying to slip things in without you kind of knowing, or offering something, and then you don't realize that it's.
Oh, like when we went to Sangria University and they asked us if we wanted the oopsie badge.
That's a great example.
Charged us $10 for it.
Great example. Now, if anybody's never heard what happened, just if you can quickly tell.
Well, we went to Sangria University, and our teacher said that he had made a batch of sangria that morning and had messed it up, and they couldn't sell it. It tasted good, but I guess the measurements were off and they couldn't sell it. So when we were leaving, he was like, would you like a to-go cup of the oopsie batch? And we were like, yeah, we'd love that. We'd take it. And then we got charged for it. And it didn't sound like we were going to be charged because he said it was not sellable.
Right. And he said, it's an oopsie batch. That tells me, he messed up, and I'm going to give this away because I'm going to do something nice for you guys. Yeah. Almost like a little pixie dust. Yeah. And then bam. See, that to me, that's sneaky tactics right there.
Yeah.
That's just, that's not nice.
So I think as a Floridian, we can get good Southern cooking. And I think maybe that's why other people love it, because maybe they don't get good Southern cooking where they come from. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. everyone's like, oh, it's the best macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think so. I thought it was dry.
Yeah.
So, and I've given it multiple chances because I'll go with my friends who want to go. And if one of my friends wants to go, I'm still going to go. I wouldn't go there myself. I wouldn't make a reservation myself to go there.
Yeah. So maybe you should stop saying that because those are fighting words and you don't want to upset your Disney fanatics.
I don't care.
You don't care. Wow. I'm putting on a happy face.
I have one friend who insisted that I must have been ordering the wrong things. And if I went with them, it would be the best meal of my life. And it was not. Okay. No. I think our roles have changed. I think you're being the grumpy one now. Well, staying on the food, staying with the food. I can't tell you how many times I brought up the turkey legs in Magic Kingdom. Yes.
And people just don't understand. Like, oh my gosh, no, they're wonderful. They're great. And they're huge and they're big and it feeds 2 people or 3. And I'm like, no, they're disgusting. They're rubber. They're $14, I think, or more. Yeah,
the price keeps inching. I remember when they were $5. When they were $5, they were a good deal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're just ugh. But those are fighting words for some people because I don't know. And this is a true story. I was there one time, and that place is packed. That little area, and the turkey legs are everywhere, and people are just going after them. And they have these big birds in the park right there by the water. I actually saw a bird swoop down, grab one off of someone's plate, fly up in the air, and it dropped it. Like, no, thank you. Don't want it. True story.
I don't know what happened to me in life that I used to be able to eat things like that. And then I don't know, the sinew and all those things gross me out now.
Yeah. I just,
I don't know. But
yeah, for some, those are fighting words.
So I have to share something that I don't think people are going to like, or Magic Kingdom is my least favorite park. People say you have to go to Magic Kingdom Magic Kingdom. People start their trips at Magic Kingdom, and Magic Kingdom is magic, and everybody loves Magic Kingdom. And if I had a 3-day trip and had to skip a park, it would probably be Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. And I get that Magic Kingdom has the most rides, but I don't know. Lately, I'm not at Disney for rides, and Magic Kingdom is my least favorite park.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that one, Toni-Ann. I have to agree with you. And some people say, well, it's Magic Kingdom is the first park, and you get the whole nostalgia and the whole feelings. No, when I walked in that park, I look down Main Street, and I think I've got to walk through all of that to get to where I want to go, and it just. I already start. It's already gives me agita. It already gives me a little stress. Well, the other parks don't do that to me for some reason. I don't know. And it's not my favorite. It's not one of those. Yeah, it's just not. I'm the same. I feel the same. It's on the bottom of my list. We have to agree together. We agree on this one.
I know. And yeah, I get it. The some of the best rides are there. I get that, but I don't know. The atmosphere, I think there's a lot of newbies at Magic Kingdom, so people don't know how to act sometimes, and they stand in the middle of the walkway and take their pictures of the castle, and I don't know. And the food's not great there either. So
yeah, I will say one of the best photographs we ever got, I think, in any of the parks was Magic Kingdom. It was we were walking
fireworks shot.
Fireworks shot on the way out. Didn't even realize it until we got home and realized, there was nobody in line. So we just on the way out, because we don't stay around for fireworks. Who does that? Hello.
Well, that's your other unpopular opinion.
Yeah. So we're like, let's get out of here while everybody's watching those fireworks. And then Veronica said, "What? There's nobody in the line to get a picture. Let's get a picture real quick." And the photographer kept telling us to wait. Hang on, wait. And we're trying to get out of there. Like, come on, take the picture so we can get out of here. And then we got home. We're like, oh my gosh, that's why she was telling us to wait. We had no idea. The fireworks went off behind us on the castle. And it was that's cool amazing. Picture.
Yeah, it is a great picture.
Okay, Toni-Ann, here's one.
Go ahead.
Star Wars and Pandora don't belong in Walt Disney World.
Oh my God, Dave.
Yeah. Now, I don't believe that. But there's a lot of people who say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think it's fine. I think, those could be fighting words for a lot of people, because when people say that, I've heard that Star Wars doesn't belong and Pandora doesn't belong in the Walt Disney World Park. You're wrong. Then nothing belongs there.
No, I don't. I'll never forget the way I felt when I walked into Galaxy's Edge for the first time. It was mind blowing to me. I could see where people think Pandora doesn't fit in Animal Kingdom. But I think Pandora was because it's not actual animals, it's not real. But I see where adding Pandora became a jumping off point for Animal Kingdom to be able to go into other realms. Like now they're going to do this Tropical Americas thing and add Indiana Jones. And I don't think they could have done those things if Pandora didn't lead the way. Pandora, again, was like nothing we'd ever seen before. When we walked in there for the first time, and when the first time you go there at night and you see Pandora, it's amazing. And it's I can't imagine the parks without it.
Yeah, and I said this before too, that Star Wars is not. I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars, but I was blown away by Star Wars, and of course Pandora. I love Pandora, and the thing that separates those two is how Disney transitions into those different parks. Like Star Wars, you walk through the tunnel, and then boom, you're in Star Wars. Like you feel like you're in a different. You feel like you're there. Same thing with Pandora. You start over the bridge, or the back way is not so. It's a little bit of a stroll through the foliage and stuff. You start hearing the noises and a little bit of music, and it brings you in, and you kind of melt into Pandora, which is amazing. Yeah. So you feel like you're in a different. You don't feel like you're in Walt Disney World, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, I love both those lands. So
when people say that, those are fighting words for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that I'd pinch their butts or hit them. But.
So I have some fighting words that I feel the All-Star Music Suites are superior to the Art of Animation. We've stayed at Art of Animation a few times in the suites, in the family suites, and they're cramped and uncomfortable. The layout is weird, and there's a pull-out couch that's very uncomfortable to sleep on for anybody. The All-Star Music Suites have 3 real beds. They have the Murphy table, the Murphy couch, and then a queen-size bed in the bedroom with a door that closes for mommy and daddy. Or if you want to put the kids in there and mommy and daddy want to stay up at night and watch TV and move around the cabin freely, you could do that. But it has a real kitchenette, like that has a real refrigerator with a freezer. And the Art of Animation rooms have like a counter with a microwave and a little, hotel room refrigerator. So I just prefer the layout of All-Star Music, and the location of the rooms it's a preferred location. So you're close to the food court and the pool. So, if I had a family that needed a suite, I would choose that over Art of Animation, and it's cheaper than Art of Animation. Art of Animation is a good $50 to $100 more than All-Star Music Suites. Yeah. So that's my feeling about it. I like the layout much better.
How about this one? People are enamored with Frozen. Replacing Maelstrom with Frozen, in my opinion, was a huge mistake.
I think Disney would disagree with you on that. I think money-wise.
Well, they do a lot of things that I'm not happy with, and that's another thing we can talk about. But,
yeah,
Disney, overpromise and underdeliver. And that's what they did with that one.
I think it's interesting what they did with Frozen when they added those animatronics with the projection faces. I really think that's one of the reasons why that ride is down so much, because if one of the projections fails, you just can't run that ride and have Elsa with no face. You just and I think they learned that, because when they built Rise of the Resistance, there is a B mode for Kylo Ren. There is a B mode for the in Navi River Journey. There's a B mode. There are ways to get around it if the animatronic is not working. Whereas Frozen, if the animatronic is not working, they have to shut the whole ride down because you can't have a child seeing Elsa with no face.
Yeah.
So, and they've got, and I think they've learned from it because when they built the new Frozen attractions in the other parks worldwide, they've gone to regular animatronics. They aren't using those weird projection faces. So
true.
Mm-hmm. And when they built Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Tiana has a real face.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's what a difference, right? I know. Like,
and I remember when it came out, when the ride opened, they were touting this technology, this projection technology, that this is how it's going to be, that it's so much better, and it's not.
No, it's terrible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
All right, I got one for you. I'm going to get in trouble for this.
You said that 3 times now, or 4 times.
We're going back to food for a minute, Dave.
Oh, okay.
The food at the Epcot restaurants. People say you go to Epcot for the best food. I don't think the sit-down restaurants in Epcot are anything special. Like most of the international food is watered down versions of international food. The Mexican food is not great. The French food is not great. The Asian food is not great. So I feel like you're not getting a real international experience because they've watered it down for the average tourist. So I don't feel like the food in World Showcase is actually that good. So, and people's like, oh, you have to go to Epcot to eat. You know, we get hopper passes so we can have dinner at Epcot every night. And I don't know. I personally feel that the theme park food in general is not good compared to some of the food you can get in some of the resorts.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, I hear this a lot too, that there's just no decent food in Disney, and I'm not. Then you haven't been to Disney enough because
I don't think that's true either. I think there is good food at Disney. You just need to know where to look, and sometimes it's off the beaten path, and sometimes it's places that people don't think of. Like we really enjoyed that meal, and I haven't gotten back there since we went for TDC 2023. We went to Rosa Mexicano at the Dolphin, and that's a place nobody thinks of. They don't think of going to the Dolphin to eat, but it was really good, and I'd really like to get back there someday. But
yeah, that was good. That was a good surprise. I was surprised about that one. But
I hear good things about their breakfast too. They have breakfast.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but a lot of these restaurants that are in the parks, if you would take some of those restaurants and if they were outside the park,
right, in your hometown, maybe
would be huge. What if there was a Yak and Yeti out there somewhere? What if there was a Raglan Road out there somewhere, or what else? Or a Topolino's? No, you take a Yak and Yeti, a Topolino's, Raglan Road. You put those outside the park. Oh my gosh, they would be lines going into these things.
Yeah.
So,
but then there's some that probably wouldn't make it out in
oh yeah,
the world.
They would. No, they'd go bankrupt. And there's a long list of those too. Like you said, you just have to know and where to go. But no, there's some good food there.
You got one?
Yeah. Okay. So this one is, and I actually had this discussion with my doctor.
Oh, okay.
Because he knows over the years, I've had him for almost 30 years, and he knows I do a podcast, and we got to talking about Disney, and he is just not a Disney fan. I think he's got 3 kids, and it's too expensive. It's just too expensive. And the food's no good. And he just negative. And I said, well, do you have any hobbies?
Yeah.
Well, he's a huge baseball fan, and he goes to baseball games, and then we've had this discussion before, how much it is to go to a professional baseball game. Food's the same. You get a hot dog, it's $12 or $15 for a hot dog. A hamburger's like $17. A beer's like $15, I think. It's absolutely ridiculous, just like some of the prices at Disney. And being a doctor, I'm sure he probably gets club level. He's spending the same thing for a couple hours where we go and...
Right.
And,
right.
Yeah.
because we get like 12 hours worth of entertainment. Whereas if you go to a Broadway show or a concert or a sporting event, you're getting 2 or 3 hours of entertainment. So I agree with you that Disney is actually not a bad value. If you're in the market to spend money on a luxury pastime, not everybody can, and that's unfortunate. But I don't think that's Disney's fault. I think Disney gets a lot of flack for being so expensive. But I always say that if Disney lowered their prices, we'd be complaining about the crowds even more. The parks are priced appropriately for the product, and if it was priced lower, more people would come and your experience would be diminished because it would be so crowded.
Right. Yeah.
And it's business. It's supply and demand. If Disney charges $200 for a ticket and people keep buying it, then they're not charging enough. They need to charge more. And then, when they see the point where people stop buying them, then they know they need to back off a little bit. So it's unfortunate, but it's just the way business works.
Yeah. Right. And would you consider Disney I don't know if you could consider it a hobby, but it wouldn't really be your hobby, but it's, a lot of people have hobbies that are so expensive.
Right.
I mean, just scuba diving, sailing. I mean, to rent a yacht, it's like $5,000 a day. I mean, horses, equestrian. I mean, those expensive. Anything, golfing. I think if you're a member of a club and the average cost, you go golfing. I don't know how many times you go golfing, but you're into the thousands of dollars a year golfing. But you'll do it because you really want to do it.
Right.
You got to buy clubs. You got to buy this. Same thing with us. We got to go to Disney. We got to buy a hotel room. Well, it's all relative.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Quit saying it's too expensive. Stop. Those are fighting words.
So speaking of expensive, my unpopular opinion is that the Premier Pass that they just released is actually not that crazy if you're just going to do a once-in-a-lifetime trip. If you're just going to do a once-in-a-lifetime trip, I think it might be worth looking into using that Premier Pass. Yeah. Even if you're going to do it, I looked yesterday because me and Mike are going, and I just looked at what the prices were. And one day at Animal Kingdom, it was $119 a person to add the Premier Pass. And I think if it's my once-in-a-lifetime trip, and I'm going to be able to walk on Navi, walk on Flight of Passage, walk on the Safari, walk on Yeti. I think if it was my once-in-a-lifetime trip, I might not have a problem spending that. Now, Magic Kingdom is different. Magic Kingdom is almost $400. It was $379 a person. But if I'm in I don't know. I think if it was once in a lifetime trip, it might be worth it. I don't know.
Well, you're guaranteed to get on the rides. And so, because if you go in there blind and without a plan and not, you're going to be limited, and you're going to walk away going, man, that just wasn't worth it. That wasn't good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I don't think it's worth it for us because we go all the time, but I think for someone who is going on a once in a lifetime trip, it might not be outside the realm of something you might do.
It's like anything. It's an added expense that you're gonna do. It's kind of like going to to Europe or something and buying extra tours for
excursions.
If you just go
excursions.
Right. If you just go and you don't do that, good luck trying to see things that just good luck. But if you pay for the extra tours or whatever, a guide, you're going to see more, and you're going to be, even though it's going to be more costly, it's going to benefit you in the end because you're going to see things you probably wouldn't do if you were on your own going for it.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. Well, when I say this one, this is an unpopular opinion about around Walt Disney World fans and Disneyland fans and our friends. It's a small world. It's cringy. I'm sorry. The song is cringy. The dolls are cringy. And yeah, it's just cringy.
Oh,
but man, those are fighting words when I say it. People get really uptight and get. Yeah.
I think there are people that agree with you too, though.
I think so. There's some out there, but yeah, it's. I remember seeing it when I was a kid in Disneyland, and I knew right then. I'm like, and that's all I heard was "It's a Small World," and so that's the first thing we went to, and I'm like, if this is what it's all about, then I don't want to come back.
And now you have a Disney podcast.
Yeah, no, this is the worst. Like, who said this was good? Ugh.
I'm going back to food briefly.
Okay.
School bread. School bread. People go crazy about the school bread in Norway. School bread is a dinner roll with pastry cream inside and coconut on top. It tastes like disappointment because it looks like a donut, but when you bite into it, it's a dinner roll. And it's no, school bread is not good. Every time I've had it, it's dry. Yeah, no, I won't be having it again. I won't be giving them my money again for that. Do you have a treat that you think is overrated? Well, you said the turkey legs, but
oh gosh, the list is long. Yeah, turkey legs for one, but there's the pretzels. What else? Oh, just so much. The list is long.
Okay,
the list is long. There's a lot. Hot dogs. Ugh. Oh god. Casey's Corner. I mean,
well, that one I can't agree with you on, but okay.
Well, okay.
You got any more?
Oh, well, I have a list. Let's see. How about this is fighting words for people.
Okay.
Disney's just for kids.
No, it's not.
That's what they say. It's just for
I know
kids.
some people do say Disney is just for kids, and those people are sad. I feel bad for those people.
I was in Raglan Road with my daughter one time, and we were hanging out and eating, having fun. And then the table next to us was going off about how Disney was just for kids. We just started laughing. Like, are you kidding me? It's not.
I've had so much more fun going to Disney since my kids have grown than I did when they were little. I remember, when they were little, this was before Fantasyland was redone, and the old Dumbo, the original Dumbo that was over where Mine Train, like it partially where Mine Train is, was behind the carousel. Dumbo used to have a 90-minute wait, and that was Dominic's favorite ride. And so I would have to wait in this 90-minute wait for Dumbo.
Oh gosh, that's painful.
It was crazy. And I'm so glad, like, I hardly ever walk into Fantasyland anymore. So Disney is so much better not going with toddlers because I don't have to walk into Fantasyland unless I really want to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. One thing when you were talking about Magic Kingdom, I'm circling back to Magic Kingdom now.
Yeah, that's okay. We can.
We love to circle back.
We do that on, Disney Crush. We have no structure.
Yeah. One of the things that is just, it's so hard for me sometimes is Magic Kingdom is stroller hell.
Oh yeah.
It's literally a nightmare. The strollers. It's bad enough when a park is crowded. Like, you just don't see it in the other parks. You don't see it in Animal Kingdom or Epcot. Epcot kinda, but not. No. A Magic Kingdom is a different animal when it comes to strollers.
It is.
Yeah.
It goes back to what we talked. That there are people that if they just go to Walt Disney World for one day, they go to Magic Kingdom, and that's why Magic Kingdom is more crowded. And it was the first park, so they didn't plan for what the strollers became. And I think by the time they built the other parks, they had some idea of layout and how best to deal with that. And so the other parks have been built with that in mind. Like the strollers at Animal Kingdom, they, like, when you go to see the Lion King show, the stroller parking is over in a back corner, not in the walk. Like you don't have to walk around strollers to get to where you're going at Animal Kingdom. The like when you go on the safari, there's a stroller corral and it doesn't get in the way of where people are walking. It's off to the side.
Right.
It was better planned out because of that. Whereas when they built Magic Kingdom, they had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah. Because, you just don't notice them in the other parks like you do in Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. That was just a learning thing for Disney, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to get my friend Judy upset here because they talk about when you stay at Pop Century, you should get the preferred room. And I don't think the preferred room, I don't feel like Pop Century is a huge resort. It's not a big resort. It's pretty compact. And even if you get put in the worst place, the 90s building, right? The 90s building is far away. Our brother-in-law Carlo was in the furthest room in the 90s building when we went the last time with him. But even if you're in that furthest building, it's still not that far a walk. And you can cross the parking lot to get to the main building and the buses. You just walk through the parking lot and it's right there. So it might be a little far to the Skyliner. That's the one thing. The 90s building would be a little far from the Skyliner. But to get to the main building, it's right across the parking lot. It's not a big walk. So I don't think preferred is worth it if you're staying at Pop Century. I don't think Pop Century is a very big resort. That's my personal opinion. But
Hey, Tony, we went way over 5, I think, on these.
Oh, I think I have one more too. So.
Okay. Well, I got one. Let me just, I think I'll end with this one.
Okay.
These are fighting words for Disney fans.
Okay.
Replacing the Great Movie Ride with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was a good idea.
You think so?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, I think they should have left it alone. No, but those are fighting words for some the Great Movie Ride. But then you have the fanatics who love Minnie and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But yeah,
I don't know. Michael still laments over the loss of Stella.
Some things are just best left alone, and I know they probably had to do it, but
I think there were licensing issues with the movies, and they were going to have to pay money, so they decided let's just use Mickey because we own Mickey.
Yeah,
so
and they did a terrible job. I mean, they could have done so much better with that one. They really could have. I know people are sick of me saying it, but they just really dropped the ball.
Ride. I like that ride, but I do miss the movie ride. I do miss the movie ride. And I really wish they had built that Muppet movie ride, the Great Muppet Movie Ride, where they were going to have the Muppets in the scenes of famous movies. I think that's the ride that we all need that never came. So I would love to see Miss Piggy as the Bride of Frankenstein and that kind of. That's what they had planned. They were going to have Gonzo as you know.
Right. There's certain things if they just did them, certain things, I think it would be much better for these certain rides.
We've done episodes in the past about unrealized ideas that they were going to do, but it's been a long time since we've done one of those shows, and maybe we need to revisit that.
Right, because they could enhance some of these and not do a lot to them. They could enhance so many of these. Like It's a Small World. All they got to do is put Chucky in there somewhere, and it would be a different ride, and everybody would love it. So people like me, I'm going to go on It's a Small World because Chucky's. How great would that be? See, they might get a fan. They might. And Auntie Judy, a friend of ours, is she's cringing right now. Me talking about Small World because she loves it.
Yeah,
but yeah, just throw a couple Chuckies in there somewhere for the adults.
All right. So my last one is very crushy. It's very crushy. That rope dropping Animal Kingdom. I have friends who get to the park opens at 8. I have friends who get to Animal Kingdom at 6:30 in the morning and wait outside the gates so they can be the first people on Flight of Passage. So they don't have to wait in line for Flight of Passage. So if you get in line at 6:30 and the park opens at 8, you're waiting 90 minutes. So wait 90 minutes now or wait 90 minutes later. You get there at 6:30 in the cold. You have to wake up early and be there. You have to wake up at like 5 to be there for 6:30. And then you wait and wait until they open the gates and let you in. And then you walk on Flight of Passage. That's great. Whereas if I stroll in at 10, I can still wait 90 minutes to get on Flight of Passage. It's wait now or wait later. Truthfully, my favorite way to tour Animal Kingdom is to roll in at 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when people are leaving. Most people arrive at Animal Kingdom early because they've always heard the safari is great in the morning. So they arrive at Animal Kingdom early in the morning. I arrive after 1 and people are leaving and the lines are shorter. So that's my personal feeling. And the safari is amazing. That's another thing. People say the safari is amazing in the morning. The safari is amazing in the late afternoon.
Yeah.
That's when the lions wake up and they start getting very vocal. If you go there like right before the safari closes at 5, you get some really cool animal interaction. So,
right. Yeah, in that time, in that morning time, the rope dropping, while everybody's doing all that, you could be doing so many other things while they're waiting in line over there.
Yeah, well, and my opinion is if you arrive at Animal Kingdom, say you do want a rope drop and you get there at 8 and you just miss the rope drop because maybe you overslept or maybe you had transportation problems. If you don't make it in that first wave of people, you're going to be waiting a long time for Flight of Passage. You might as well just go right and hit Dinosaur and Expedition Everest and Cali River Rapids and the Safari in that order, and then hit Pandora because you're going to have to wait anyway. In the meantime, you walked on the other rides because everybody else is in Pandora. So that's my personal opinion.
Right on.
Unpopular as it is.
Right.
I think that was a lot, Dave.
That was some fighting
I hope people don't think we were being grumpy and grinchy.
No, different opinions, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Some were fighting words. All right, Toni-Ann. Well, we don't want to start any fights.
All right.
So I think we better stop now because we went well over 5 and we could probably keep going if we wanted to.
Wonderful.
But we're going to cut it off right here before we get in real trouble. All right.
Dave.
I guess that's going to do it for this week's Disney Crush podcast. We will see you guys next week. Same place, same station. The Disney Crush podcast. See you guys.
Bye.
That's it. All right.
Turkey and truth has spoken!
Put a check on that. Can you do that, Dave? Can you put a check on that one?